Welcome to Pathetic the Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. Another fun night on tap. We really did pick the perfect name for this podcast because being a New York sports fan, it is pathetic. If this is your first time here, thank you. However you stumbled upon us, we really appreciate it. Please hit the like and subscribe button. If you're a regular, thanks so much for joining us again. We really do appreciate it. Again, check out our Linktree. Send us emails. We've been getting a lot of emails. So let's just get right into it. Mikey, how are you doing today?
Doing great. Had my anniversary over the weekend, 6 years on Sunday. Had a nice dinner with the wife and the daughter, and played a nice round of golf on Saturday. It was all in all, it was a great weekend. Football aside, I had a fantastic weekend. Jeff, how we doing?
Yeah, football aside being the key word, because somehow, some way, even when the Giants are on the upswing, they just something happens where it brings them right back down to ground zero where they started. So,
Well, let's
man,
start
and we'll
there.
get into it. But yeah,
Let's start there, Jeff. I watch a good amount of that Giant game.
Yeah.
I'm sure you were glued in and saw every play. Tell us what you think.
Well, listen, there's so much to dissect here, but I want to start with this. I'm sick of hearing from Giant fans downplaying the severity of this loss because of the silver lining that Jackson Dart is doing great. Make no mistake about it, this was a horrifying loss. Horrifying. And it was the worst loss I've probably ever seen as a Giant fan. And I was in the stadium when Deshaun Jackson and he returned that punt against Matt Dodge, and that was a disaster. But this was way worse. But a lot of Giant fans are saying the silver lining to this loss is Jackson Dart. But I'm sorry, guys, there is no silver lining here. We already know that Jackson Dart is the future of the Giants. That's already set in stone. He may be the future of the league, right? Who knows? We'll see how that plays out. But I actually think he's going to be a top 10 quarterback by the end of next year. I think he's that good. The question is, do we have the right coaches to maximize the potential of the Giants, right? Not Jackson Dart, the Giants. And I've come to the conclusion, Uncle Ted, I know you've been on this for a long time, and I've tried to defend it as much as I could. After Sunday, I've decided Brian Dable is just not a good head coach. Period. End of story. And the coup de grace was 3rd and 5. You're up 2 possessions with whatever it was, 4 minutes and change to go. The Broncos are burning timeouts. And the only one they had left is all you had to burn to possibly win the game. Right? There was only one play call there, and that was a run to Scatterbo and then punt it away. Right? And force the Broncos to score on 2 possessions and no timeouts in the final minutes of the game. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel very comfortable saying if the Giants actually did that, the game is over. Right? It's hard enough to get, a touchdown on 1 possession or a score in general with no timeouts, let alone 2. Right? The decision to throw the ball there with a rookie quarterback against an elite defense, it's so patently unacceptable. I don't know how you recover from that if you're Dable. But look, you don't lose this kind of game because of, one thing, right? It's not one person to blame. The Giants don't have a field goal kicker. Like, what the hell is that? Like, there's no field goal kicker on this team.
Yeah. They cut that guy today, by the way.
They cut him today, finally. Should have happened yesterday. Those missed extra points killed them. It really did. Shane Bowen, who should be fired today, all right, decides to rush 3 and drop 8 on the last drive of the game when the secondary's banged up. You have Deontay Banks, who is trash. He's in the game. And the strength of your team is the pass rush. Like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing? But, look, they lost the game because of coaching. End of story. And I'll end it on this. I don't want to go on too long of a rant here. The Giants have a real problem here with Brian Dable. And I'll tell you why. On one hand, he's proving time and time again, despite me trying to defend it, that he's a lousy head coach. But on the flip side, Jackson Dart is thriving under his schemes, his offensive scheme, right? if the Giants, let's say they fire him at the end of the year, which I'm not opposed to anymore, by the way, I'm kind of in on it, to be honest with you. You're now running into the risk of, breaking up a good marriage, right? It would be much easier if Jackson Dart was average, if he was playing okay, but he's playing at a high level under this coach. And, look, I'm not saying it wouldn't continue if you brought somebody else in, but look, if you fire Dable, and again, I'm not completely opposed to it, you can't ignore the risk of disrupting the progress of Jackson Dart because it's going to get disrupted. The question is to what degree.
Mike?
Yeah, I mean, look, I understand if you're a Giants fan, you got to be sick to your stomach watching that game. But honestly, I'm going to try to be the voice of reason. I'm going to disagree with you a little bit, Jeff, about how bad, again, if it was my team, I would be right there with you. But you got to love everything you're seeing about this kid. And honestly, Dable, he's done it in the past where they've won playoff games with him. He just needed the right guys. So I'm not going to sit here and get so worked up over a regular season loss in a season that is really not about wins and losses. It's more about the getting Jackson Dart ready and getting this team to start believing again and really changing the culture for the Giants. I'll give you one thing I'll say about the Giants, and I think it was something that maybe we brought up before, but they are no longer a bad football team. They are no longer a miserable bunch of guys. This whole team believes in themselves now because they have the quarterback. So all this season is going to be is building up on that because this schedule, we thought it was bad before. Some of those layup games, like the Patriots now, the Bears, all these games that we thought were going to be layups that you'd have a chance to win later on, they're no longer layups. So this season really is all about getting Jackson Dart ready to go and really, as bad as it feels, and believe me, like I said, if it was my team, I would be right there with you, Jeff. But I kind of want to be the voice of reason here and saying, listen, we know what this kid is now. This whole franchise is back being energized, and I'm excited for what you're going to see going forward. So as bad as it was, I want Giants fans to feel good about their team because they should. Because the alternative is what we're dealing with over with the Jets, Ted. I don't know about what your thoughts are, but
Well, I'm going to agree with a lot of what Jeff said. I do think that Dable is not a great coach. I don't think that if you brought in another coach, that it would severely hurt Dart's progress because I don't think a lot of these offensive-minded coaches, I don't think their game plans and their schemes are that much different. And I think that a guy like Dart, he's already shown you he's pretty smart, pretty intelligent kid, and I don't think he'd have a problem. Yeah, they should have ran the ball. They should have forced Denver to use their last timeout. What bothered me the most about it was that that play was bad, but the defense in a big spot. That defensive coordinator, he nutted up. He just shriveled up, and like you said, he dropped 8, rushed 3 because he felt like with the 8 maybe he could cover them instead of having the full confidence in that pass rush, which is a great pass rush. It's a great pass rush. And I think that's one of the reasons why Brian Burns was so mad.
Oh, he was fired up
At the end of the game, walking off. Yeah, he was really fired up. Mike's right. What's the alternative? I don't know. What do you do now? Let's say they lose. Let's say they lose to Philly. Let's say they don't beat Chicago or they don't beat New England, and they do wind up with a record of 6-11. Okay, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And do you fire Dable? I mean, if you're looking at the games, if the games are like this, where the coaching staff is really coming up small in big spots, I think you have to.
Well,
But
that's the
again,
thing. Yeah, like I trust Dable with Dart. I don't trust Dable with the Giants.
right.
That's the problem. Like,
I
and
agree.
that's the issue they're in. Like, Dart is clearly responding to Dable. And look, I know I've been knocking
Sure.
Dable, and I even made like a post-game rant about him because I was very emotional. That was probably a mistake reacting right
know.
away.
That was
But-
great.
Right.
But I mean, I have to give Dable credit on Dart because, like, you have to credit him on that. Like, he definitely is helping him with his at least development in the NFL. And I think Dable is very smart offensively. He's an offensive coordinator. It's what he does. He's putting all his focus on the quarterback. That's his guy. That's basically his lover. I mean, look at the way he treats the guy, right?
Oh my God.
It's unbelievable. It's like embarrassing to watch. But I do think Dable is a very, and I said this last week, guys, about Dable. He's great when things are going well. When he has the quarterback, when all the fans are pumped, when everything is going great, he's the man, right?
Yeah.
But when you know what hits the fan, like it did in that game, he's pacing back and forth. He's screaming at his fellow coaches. He's talking to himself. He's yelling. He completely folds. And again, it is beyond unacceptable, beyond egregious to not run the ball on that play. Like, I think, like, if you're 10 years old and you know football, like, just from a 10-year-old standpoint, you know to run the ball there. So I don't trust him as a coach.
Tiki had the same rant you had. Tiki Barber had the same rant you had after you had the rant. So, I mean, yeah, he is right. But I will say, agreeing with Mike, your prognosis, if we were looking at it like a doctor, your prognosis is pretty good. You know, the patient's healing. Looks like you're going to be on your feet pretty soon, and we're going to, you know, you're going to be discharged from the hospital. You know, whereas on the other side of town, you know, that patient's on life support. Mike, that game, we've seen terrible games, and I've seen a lot more terrible. I remember sitting in the rain watching the Jets play the Indianapolis Colts and having it be like a 9-5 or a 7-5 game, and sitting in the rain the whole day watching that and thinking that's the end. Sitting in that stadium with Rich Kotite coaching, and the team is 1-13 or 1-15 or whatever it was, and thinking that's the bottom. I don't even know that we've reached the bottom, Mike.
To keep your analogy going, the prognosis is he died. The patient died about 6 weeks ago, is what happened, and he's sitting there rotting in the middle of the street for everyone to watch. I've gotten to the point now where I'm completely apathetic about this team. I didn't watch 1 second of that game. I watched the highlight package afterward. I was at a Halloween parade with my daughter, following along, and I just don't care. This team is not going anywhere. No one on this team is going to be back. You know, the skill position players are starting to quit. You see Breece Hall putting out all this stuff about free 20 and everything else. The fractures, we've seen this movie before. You know, your offense coordinator is going to be gone next year. You're going to have a new quarterback in. You're probably going to have a new defensive coordinator because, I mean, although the defense has been playing very well the last couple of weeks.
Job recently, yeah.
But you know what's going to happen. One of these games, Tyrod Taylor is going to be throwing for 3 or 4 touchdowns, and the defense is going to lay an egg, and we're going to lose the game 41-35 or something like that. Because I don't anticipate this team winning any games this year. There's no one on this schedule that really says we have a great chance to beat any of these teams with the way this team plays. This team is uninspired. This team doesn't, folds under pressure, just run, pass, punt every single play. And at least Tyrod Taylor got in the game and threw the ball down the field a little bit, even though he was underthrowing everyone. But I'm completely checked out on this team. I honestly, if they don't win in the next couple of weeks or show something, I'm fine with not talking about them going forward and just going through the rest of the league and talking about the Giants and everything else, because there's nothing to talk about here. They're just so bad.
And Jeff, here's a situation where Mike is ready to not talk about them anymore, but their owner today at owners meetings, not only does he talk. Now, here's the other thing. You are the dumbest a-hole as far as owners go. You're the dumbest owner. Stop with the white hat. Even at the owners meetings, he's wearing, and it wasn't a Jets hat this time. It was a white hat. But so Jeff, he comes out. He loves Aaron Glenn. He's seeing a lot of improvement. I don't know where he's seeing it. And he takes the opportunity to destroy Justin Fields. Now,
so
listen,
bad.
Justin Fields right now is terrible. But I'm not even going to destroy Justin Fields.
No.
This kid, I don't think he's getting any help from the coaching staff. None at all. They're not playing to his strengths at all. And you bench him as an owner. It's irresponsible for you to come out. And if you're not going to say, hey, we're trying hard, we're going through the process, then keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
So, here's a good one. Sell the team.
Yeah.
It's
why?
Worth $6 billion, 10 times what you bought it for. Sell it.
Yeah.
Why would any free agent want to come here when you have an owner that's just going to throw you under the bus the first time you're terrible? It's not Jerry Jones saying it, who's got Super Bowl wins and has got all this cachet around the field.
Right.
This is a guy who's literally done nothing since he's owned this team.
Nothing.
So I am absolutely, when I was reading the comments of him just driving the bus back and forth over him multiple times, like, it's one thing to say one thing and have a one comment, but then to go back and to double down on it again is just absolutely reprehensible as an owner. And if I'm a player on that team, I don't even want to put my jersey on at this point.
Yeah, look, Woody is an embarrassment. He's always been an embarrassment. He makes an ass out of himself on an annual basis, right? Mm-hmm. Every time this guy grabs the mic, he says something even dumber. And look, Justin Fields isn't any good, right? We all know that. We get it. But Woody Johnson, you are the engineer of the worst franchise in sports. And guys, look, it's not me trolling. That's not hyperbole.
No,
that is. They are the worst franchise in sports. He doesn't have the right to say anything except offer an apology to the Jet fans who spend a crap load of money every year on this garbage. And newsflash, by the way, the coach and GM Woody hired made the decision to get rid of Rodgers and bring in Justin Fields.
Right.
This is on him. It's not on it's not on Fields. It's on you, right? And look, has Woody Johnson
and
ever
smirking while he's saying it? That was
that's the other thing. I know it's the body language. But let me ask
the body language.
Let me ask you a question: has Woody Johnson ever, and maybe I missed it, has he ever come out and taken responsibility for one of these abysmal Jet seasons?
No,
never.
No.
Every time he comes to the mic, every time he's there to the mic, you cringe. Right? He'll never sell the team because of the TV deals and the revenue and all that. But I'm sorry, guys. I hate to break it to you, but Woody Johnson will never make the right decision. It's never going to happen.
They're going to have to get really lucky with a hire. And things go so good that Woody just kind of disappears and lets it happen.
Yeah.
And to show you what a tool he is, Trump gets elected again and doesn't even pick him to be an ambassador anywhere. Like, I mean, put him in Karachi, Pakistan or somewhere. But Trump couldn't even save us and take him, although his brother is just as
I was going to say, you got
both.
Christopher Johnson waiting in the ring. He may be worse.
He's just a nicer guy.
He is, yeah. He wouldn't come out and talk bad about the quarterback.
No.
So here's my question. Let's say we're going to have the number 1 pick. Let's imagine that's going to happen. Okay.
Right.
So
It's
right.
not really hard to
got-
imagine at this point.
It's not. As John Lennon said, it's not hard to imagine. It's easy if you try. Well, let's say we have the number 1.
Yeah.
I have no confidence
No.
Zero.
that this kid is going to come in and have any kind of coaching that's going to
Nope.
help him develop. It's going to be another situation where in 3 years he's gone and he's flourishing somewhere else.
Yep. Yeah.
With that being said, I'm going to ask you guys, because everybody says if you don't have the number 1, you can't. Who are you going to take as a quarterback? Okay. I'm going to throw some names out, and I
Go.
want you to tell me where you think or remember where they were drafted. Okay. Let's do an easy one. Brock Purdy.
7th round, Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah.
Mr. L, last player in the draft. Now, you want to argue that he's not a unbelievable quarterback? He's been to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He's been to a Super Bowl.
I'll take him. I'll take what he's done over anyone that the Jets have had.
Bo Nix.
He was first round, wasn't he?
Right, but 12th.
Late
Okay, I was
round.
gonna say,
Middle.
yeah.
So if you've got a middle of the first round pick, if you're smart, especially in a year when a lot of quarterbacks are coming out, you can make the right choice.
Yeah.
Right? How about Joe Flacco?
Flacco, 3rd round?
He was 18th towards the end of the first round.
Oh, wow.
Here's a better
Okay.
one. Lamar Jackson.
End of the first round.
End of the first. Yeah, end of the first.
Right, 32nd. Let's see. Hold on, I have another good one. Dak Prescott.
Where was Dak drafted?
If you're not
They're like
sure,
four-
of this,
third-
I think
third or
I think
fourth
he,
round. Yeah.
I think he was 4th. I think he was 4th round.
4th round. Jalen Hurts.
3rd round.
I think he's second round. Yeah,
53rd pick. And you know what? For all the morons in Philadelphia that love to trash him, I would take Jalen Hurts
Of course.
in a
Right.
nanosecond. Okay.
Of course.
So what that shows you is that you can get a quarterback other than the number 1 pick. Now, if we have the number 1 pick, am I picking a guy like Fernando Mendoza? Yes, I am. Am I picking like a Ty Simpson, the quarterback from Alabama? Yes, I am. Okay. But I'm just saying that if they decided they had a team with multiple picks that said, hey, we'll trade you 2 number 1s and a next year number 1 for that number 1 overall. If it's not too far down and you look at it, you can get a quarterback and you can also help build the team. But again, will these 2 clown shoes be able to actually build the team? A guy that no wide receivers, he has no wide receivers drafted, bringing in, he's got nothing. And yet we're going to depend on him to build this team.
The other problem with Glenn is the arrogance he displays in the press conferences. Like, he acts like he's somebody who won championships, and he hasn't won a game yet.
And
so that's got to drive me nuts.
I
just don't like to your point, Uncle Teddy. I just don't. I mean, I don't want this guy picking the. I'm not saying fire him today, but like even if they win a couple of games here, I still would shift away from him and get somebody who's offensive oriented and actually knows what the hell he's doing, because this is such a crucial draft for the Jets next year with that quarterback.
And here's the other thing. I heard this stat today, and I was surprised by it. But do you know what the rankings of the Lions defense was the last 5 or 6 years when it comes to their overall defense and how great Aaron Glenn was? And
I think it was,
you know what the
highest
the highest they were ever ranked was 18th, and that was 2 years ago. Every other year they were ranked 29th or lower in total defense. Every year he was on the defensive coordinator of that team. So don't make me seem like, oh, this is a defensive genius like a Buddy Ryan or somebody else who's going to come in here and make a big change, because their defenses were not great in Detroit. So, I'm starting to sour on him, and for me to sour on him is saying a lot. But
yeah,
as I said, I'm so finished with this season. I'm looking forward to spring training baseball and hockey season and college basketball and everything else that I'm completely done with this team at this point.
well, here, look at the Detroit Lions now. Offensively, they're not missing. What is it? Was it Ben
Johnson.
Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson. They're not missing
Yeah.
him at all. Goff isn't missing him, and defensively, they're better.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
better.
they
So
are.
honestly, you know what it is? It's the coach. It's the coach. The coach is the difference. So, I mean, this is just, to me, it's such an embarrassment. And you're right, Mike. The best thing to do is not pay attention. My 7-year-old granddaughter said to me in Applebee's on Sunday, I was sitting having lunch with them all, and the game was on. And she said, Pop, I still root for the Jets, but a lot of kids in my class are Eagles fans, so I kind of root for them too because they like the Eagles. I said, Lexi, you pick whoever you want, because I would never make you root for the Jets because it's just a lot of heartache.
Uncle
Now,
Teddy, I
she
have a
didn't
question
really
for you.
understand that, but
I have a question for you. So you've been watching the Jets forever, right?
Since
Is this
1968.
Is this the worst it's ever been?
Yes, it is, because we're at the end of a 10-year, 11-year period since 2015 when we've had a winning season, and there is no light truly at the end of the tunnel. There's truly no light at the end of the tunnel. There really isn't. There's nothing that Mike and I can say, okay, here's where we can have some hope. And Mike, you know me, we're in a text chat with a good friend of ours, and he always rips me because I'm always the guy defending the Jets. And I finally this week, I gave up the ghost. I said, there's no excuse. They're the worst, and they all have to go. Honestly, they have to. As Ted Smallwood said, they need, God forbid, they need a Marshall situation.
I mean, my niece has come out and says, I really hope for Uncle Mike that the Jets can win one game because she goes, they haven't won a game yet. She has no clue about what's going on. Her parents are Eagles fans.
Right.
And she goes, the Jets haven't won a game yet? Oh, I hope they win one for Uncle Mike. And, I don't know if they are. It really isn't. I feel maybe she'll be staying over here for next weekend for the Halloween parade. So maybe we'll get one with her being here as a good luck charm, but I don't see it.
Maybe Miami, because they're going to trade off everybody by that time. So
that will be the game of two teams that have both given up.
Yeah.
So we're going to see who could be.
And because we win that game, we will lose the first pick, and Mendoza will go out and be the Dolphins' next Dan Marino, and we'll get some other guy, the guy from Alabama, who will be a Zach Wilson 2.0.
Although, just remember,
that's where I'm at.
Zach Wilson has as many Super Bowl wins as Dan Marino. The one thing, as the memes on Facebook show, and it's the truth, when I die, please, Mike, because you're going to live a lot longer than me, Jeff, you too, please make sure that you get the Jets to be my pallbearers, just so they can let me down one last time.
Yeah.
That's all. Because it's been my whole life. And, Joe Benigno likes to say, oh, the pain, and he's the only one. And I'll talk to Woody. I'll tell Woody. Shut up, Joe. Just shut up. Please shut up.
There's people who spend thousands of dollars on season tickets and personal seat licenses and parking and jerseys and everything else and RVs to go out there and tailgate and to watch this garbage for the last 15 years where there's literally nothing in the last 15 years you could feel good about other than maybe Ryan Fitzpatrick winning 10 games the one year and them figuring out a way to not make the playoffs in that one season where they had a chance.
And then deciding that it was prudent to fire Todd Bowles.
Right. And look at what he's doing. He's only got a Super Bowl ring now and a couple Super Bowl rings in Tampa, and
yeah,
of course. Why not? He's a great coach now.
It's just the Jets franchise should move to Ukraine. Honestly, they really should.
They might go to London. Who the hell knows? Woody might take the check and go to London. That will save me. I will gladly give them up and go and not be a fan of them when they're the London Knights or whatever they're going to be over there. So
yeah, the Jets have a real problem because I think you guys are speaking on behalf of probably all the fans, where it's not disappointment, it's not being pissed, it's actual hatred towards the team. Like, you guys really are starting to hate the team because you invest your time, money, right, to a degree, but even more your time watching, and like you're excited for the season. And not only does the team suck, but you have your jackass owner coming out and making stupid statements, and he sounds like an ass. It just, I get it. I really do.
Did you see the video of the kid leaving the game? Did you see the video?
I did. Yeah.
Where the poor, you could see the pain in his face.
Pure pain.
Yep.
He just goes, "I hate them. I hate them."
You know what? That was so well said because it was simple but factual. Like, you got it, right? Like, he was, what was he, 12 years old, 13, whatever?
Maybe.
You felt what he was saying. You're like, yeah, I get it. I'm with you. It's just a hatred.
And he started, and he's dealing with it from a young age. So, you know.
And he said something interesting. He was like, I was born into it. I'm not leaving. And like, we all, like, even like, look, the Giants are in a different position. I get it. There's some hope there, but like, we had a decade of this trash. And I remember saying to myself, like, I'm stuck here, man. Like, every Sunday I'm in the same spot on my couch with the same beverage, the same slice of pizza, doing the same exact thing with the same emotions. You're just stuck in it. You can't leave it no matter what. It is what it is.
You can't, and you can say, like Mike and I were talking, who can we root for other than the Jets? So we decided maybe we'll root for an NFC team, and we'll kind of watch them. You know what? You can't, because you're not that invested.
No.
You need to be able to say to a team that you root for, "You stink, I hate you." Because
if they win,
you're going to say, "You're great, we love you."
And if they win, you don't feel like you went along for the ride. You jumped on the bandwagon. Like, it's not the same thing.
No, it's not the same.
It's not.
I was so happy when the Giants beat the Patriots twice in the 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
But I was not like ecstatic, jumping off the couch or anything. I was just very happy.
Right. I love watching Tom Brady get his ass kicked for 2 games straight. So that was beautiful. Even when the Eagles beat him, I still loved it. So,
Yeah.
All right, listen, before we get to our picks, by the way, Jeff, I know you watch a lot of YouTube golf. It was just dropped today. Kirk Minahan versus Riggs.
Yeah, I saw Riggs was screaming at the crowd, right? Because they were heckling him, putting. I got to see that.
I watched the first 4 holes. I'm going to watch the rest of it tonight. But listen, for the rest of the year, this is it, boys. Jack has 2 more goals tonight, 5 goals so far this season. This is it. This is what's going to drive right here. This right here. Okay?
The Devils.
You're right. But Devils.
The Devils.
The Devils. So, we had a rough week last week. We think the Jets and Giants had a rough week. Our picks last week were pretty miserable. I was 1-2. I won on the Seattle game. I lost on Tampa Bay and Atlanta. Jeff was 1-2. He won on San Francisco. He lost on Miami and the Chargers. And Mike was 1-2. Oh wait, no, Mike was 2-1.
Correct.
Mike
okay.
won on
All right.
Eagles and Chicago and lost on the Raiders. So, Mike, I apologize. You had a pretty good week. So the standings right now, I am holding on by the short ones. I'm 12-9. Mike is 10-11. Jeff is right there at 9-12. One big 3-0 week. Somebody's going to jump out.
Yeah.
So, Mike, why don't you start us off, Mike?
All right.
I had Jeff start us off, I think, last time. Oh, and by the way, last week, Mike and I put our picks up on YouTube Short from the golf course because we had a problem. We recorded an episode and then it was completely garbled up. I think that AWS thing was a problem.
It was 100%.
Yeah,
I think
guarantee that's what
the
it was.
problem. Yeah. So, but that's why we were only on a short. Me and Mike were kind of we had a few in us at the golf course.
Quite a few.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So Mike, what do you have this week?
I mean, we did shoot a combined, I think, 300 between the two of us in 18 holes. So it was not great.
Close.
I think I hit it into 11 bunkers. So
Mike, Mike was in the bunkers more than David, in the sands more than David Hasselhoff.
Yeah, 100%. Every sand trap joke was being used on Saturday for sure.
And we were playing with two guys who were the nicest guys in the world. They were pretty good golfers, and they were really nice. And every single time Mike went in the bunker, the one guy would go, "Oh no, Mike's in the bunker again."
Yeah, I was sand trap Mike by the end of the round.
Yeah,
so.
And the bunker's like the worst place to be for me, at least, because I suck out of the bunker. I'm terrible out of it.
I was actually doing pretty well for the most part, getting out, but I was in pretty much every single greenside bunker the entire round. So,
but as we spoke early, we talk about Mike being in the bunkers. There was a 165-yard uphill par 3, so it was probably playing more like 175. And Mike took a 6 hybrid and put it within 3.5 feet of the hole. So he did. If he didn't do that, then we would have had probably a combined 325 on our stroke. So so that was pretty good. So Mike, in the league where they play for pay, or in the Jets case, in the league where they just kind of hang out, what are your picks today?
Yeah, week 8. I can't believe it. We're moving the ball down the field here, guys. We're halfway through the season right now.
Thank God.
I know. So I have 3 picks this week. We have the Chicago Bears plus 6.5 against the Baltimore Ravens. I think the Ravens are finished this year. I love what Chicago's doing. I think Chicago is another one of those teams like the Giants who may not be a good team yet, but they're no longer a bad team. So I love them in that spot, plus 6.5 against the Ravens. It's not a night game, so Baltimore usually doesn't play as well at home when it's not at night. So I'll take the Bears plus 6.5 there. I will take the Dallas Cowboys plus 3.5 against the Denver Broncos. Dallas's offense is really, really good. I think they can go up and down the field with anyone. And I think this could also be another close field goal game. So give me the hook and give me Dallas plus 3.5 in Denver as well. And then my last pick, I will take San Francisco plus 1.5 at the Houston Texans. The Texans are no good. They really stink. San Francisco is not much better, but I will take their skill players over Houston's skill players every day and twice on Sunday. So give me San Francisco plus 1.5. So Bears plus 6.5, Dallas plus 3.5, San Francisco plus 1.5. 3 underdogs on the road. Mikey Mush's picks for week 8 in the National Football League.
All right, Mike. So Jeff, you're 9-12. I need a big week from you, buddy.
I need a 3-0 week. I need
a 3-0 week.
I definitely got to get back in.
You do.
Back in the winners, column at least.
You got to
so
get there.
Game 1.
How are we going to start that?
Game 1, I'm going to go Bucks minus 3.5 over the Saints. The Saints, they're not as bad as people think, but I think the Bucks coming off a loss. I love good teams coming off losses. I think they come back fired up. They clean up some mistakes. I don't think, again, the Saints are as bad as people thought they were going to be. They're not good, but they're not like they could beat people. But I love the Bucks coming off a loss. So give me the Bucks over the Saints. I'm going to take the Steelers plus 3.5 over Green Bay. Very, very simple reason. Aaron Rodgers with a chip on his shoulder. We saw what he did to the Jets week 1. When he's pissed off or he wants to prove a point, you get a better Aaron Rodgers, and he's playing well this year. It's not like you're getting a bad Aaron Rodgers that may step his game up. He's been very good. So I think the Steelers beat the Packers. And Mike, I'm with you. Final game, 49ers getting a 1.5 over Texans. They're not good, man. The Texans just are not a good team. It's disappointing because I was all on CJ Stroud's train. I loved him. I thought he was great. He looks average at best, right, at this point. And the Niners, you took the words out of my mouth, Mike. The skill players are just better, and we're getting a 1.5. So give me the Niners over the Texans. Jeff's hopefully 3-0 Week 8 picks.
Well, trying to hold on up at the top. It's tough up at the top. I feel you guys coming at me. The heat on my neck, it's coming at me. You're clawing at me, and I feel it. And with that in mind, my first pick is Tampa Bay, -3.5. They're not going to lose. And I love what Jeff said. That's a good team coming off a bad game. And I think they're the kind of team, Bulls will have them ready. And I think they'll beat New Orleans. I do also agree, Jeff, that New Orleans is not quite as bad. And I think they're doing a great job of transitioning until they find whatever quarterback they're going to get.
The coach is good.
I think Kellen Moore's good. Yeah, he's doing a good job. I also like San Francisco getting the 1.5. How do you not? How do you not? And Mike, you hit it on the head. The skill position players alone, they're just better.
Everybody bet Houston.
Houston's terrible. Yeah, everybody's
I know.
We all picked the same. Yeah. Yep. Can I change my pick, please, real quick?
And the best bet of the week, best bet by far. If it was any other team, I would say they probably have enough heart that they would say enough of this crap, and we're going to show you what we are. But they don't, and they can't. I'm taking Cincinnati, given 6.5 in Cincinnati, in the jungle. Joe Flacco is going to light them up like 4th of July. It's going to be ugly, and I'm going to be laughing like a hyena watching this game. And the only thing I'm going to be looking forward to is at the end of the game, switching over to SNY and seeing Bart Scott's reaction as soon as they come off. And do me a favor, Jets, when you're home, when you're walking off, stop taking your gloves off and giving them to the little kids, okay? No one wants that crap. No one wants it. The kids think they want it. They don't know better. Keep the gloves on your hand. Throw them in the garbage. Do whatever you got to do. No one wants anything to do with you. So we're taking Cincinnati -6.5, San Francisco +1.5, Tampa Bay -5.5. I want to go 3-0. Jeff wants to go 3-0. Mike might go 3-0, but it's not going to happen this week. You're not catching me this week. Those are my picks. We only have one more thing to do before we leave you guys tonight. The Mikey Mush pick. Mike.
All right. So we'll recap our pick. We'll recap our pick from last week. We went to the Yugoslavian Basketball League. The KK Ikagia did win and cover the 8.5-point spread. They won by 16. They did not get the over, though. The total was 169.5. They got to 158. They had a bad third quarter where they only scored 15 points, so that kind of killed the over. But we did go 1-1, so we'll take that. This week we are going over to the rugby league out in England. I have a 3-team parlay for us, straight up money line, no spreads. Thank goodness. I don't need any spreads in rugby because I don't know what the scoring system is. We're just going off of vibes here. So I'm going to take Northampton -160 against Saracens. I'm going to take the Newcastle Red Bulls as my underdog pick, +1,200 against the Harlequins.
That's going to be some payoff if it comes in.
And I'm going to take the Exeter Chiefs -700 against Gloucester. I think all of these games are on Saturday. I am also going to throw in a bonus pick for the Liberty Hurricanes to end their 8-year drought against the Freedom Patriots on Saturday as well. So go Canes. They will get there, and they will host a playoff game next weekend after beating Freedom in their game on Saturday as well.
All right. So for those of you that don't know, Liberty is the high school in the town where Mike lives. That Mike's daughter is part of the marching band. What do they call the thing she's in? She's
the Liberty High School Grenadier Band.
The Grenadier Band. And that band actually led the parade in Philadelphia last week for was it the U.S. Navy or Armed Forces?
The Navy 250th birthday parade in Philadelphia. They got to lead the parade. So the cops drove down with the motorcycles, and then Liberty High School was right after that. So
that's awesome.
Shout out to them. They were awesome in that parade. They were great in the Hellertown Halloween parade on Saturday as well. Love the band. Been around for 100 years. If you get a chance, there's actually a PBS documentary called Second to None that is about the band that came out about 10 years ago. Definitely check it out. Really, really cool. Love the band. Shout out to them. And we're going to London in June, so we will be across the pond. I'll have some good Mikey Mush picks for us at that point as well from across the pond, live.
All right. Well, guys, thanks for another great night. Talking me off the ledge a little bit, letting me vent. Me and Mikey are on we're actually having people check in on us right now to make sure that we're okay. Yeah. They're doing, what do they do? Safety to well checks. They're
wellness
doing
checks.
Yeah, but I needed that too. And Mike kind of, he helped me out a little bit today too. Because look, you said it, Mike, like if that happened to the Jets and Uncle Ted, you too, you'd be furious. You'd be irrational. You'd be yelling stuff. And I need some people to be like, dude, you're good. The Giants are fine with this quarterback. We'll see with the coach, but it's all right. The Giants are okay. That's all I can ask for.
Guys, Pathetic the podcast. Go to our link tree down below and right there. And send us an email, subscribe. Guys, I'll see you next week. Have a good one.